I broke maybe the most important rule when I painted my first mini. I left my base completely bare. So I scoured the internet for texture paint recipes because I'm also poor, and I found this. Diatomaceous earth. It's a powdery white substance which is essentially just fossilized algae. By the way, did you know that there's a time period known as the cat gap? It's a period in the fossil record where there was basically no cats. I have a cat, which also means that I have kitty litter. I thought I could use it for my basing materials along with some cornstarch and diatomaceous earth. If you're going to do this, don't forget salt to prevent mold from growing. You're also going to need some PVA glue, or wood glue will do just fine. That's what I used. I also picked up some Wasteland Tufts from Army Painter at my local game store. My name is Tack, and you're watching Struggle Luck. So there I was, mixing up this concoction like a mad fucking scientist. I started by mixing the glue with hot water and began mixing in the cornstarch and diatomaceous earth, just little by little. Once I had that ready, I added in a fresh squirt of cheap black hobby paint, and I was left with this goopy mixture. Next, it was time to add it to the mini. I slathered it on with an old paintbrush, and it seemed to be a similar texture to some of the Games Workshop texture paints I've seen, but it was just a little bit clumpy. I probably could have mixed a little bit better, but oh well. After that, I sprinkled on the best looking pieces of kitty litter that I could find. I wanted to create an appearance of small stones just scattered around the battlefield. Next, it was time to add these fancy ass grass tufts. They look pretty nice. Definitely more of a dead grass vibe going on, which is exactly what I want. They just peeled off and had their own adhesive, but I stuck them into the texture paint for some extra grip. They definitely look like they belong in a wasteland. I felt like it was coming along nice, and I was definitely happy with the grass and the stones. After that, I rimmed the base with a nice gloss black, and I let everything dry. It was supposed to crackle a little bit, but it came out looking like complete shit. I questioned my existence for a few minutes, and after that I decided I was going to have to paint this thing. I started with a very thin glaze of black over the entirety of the textured areas on the base. I wanted to make sure it seeped into all the crevices, so after that I thinned down a nice black wash, and I added that as well. It definitely looked better, but I wasn't quite there yet. After that dried, I began adding a gray dry brush all over the raised areas, just to bring out some of the details, make it pop a little bit more. Once that was done, I finished up with some white edge highlights, very similar to what I did with the rock terrain in my last video. It definitely doesn't look good, but in all honesty, it doesn't really look bad either in my opinion. I'm definitely not 100% happy with the results, and honestly I think I'll get some of the Citadel textures for my next minis. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments and how you think it turned out, and if there's anything that you think I should have done differently. I think I might have needed to add a little bit more water to get a nice crackle. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We just ordered the 40k starter set and a few other minis, so next week we'll be painting up something new. I'm definitely looking forward to painting some Tyranids. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.